Hi everyone, I'm Monique from MD Consulting. Today I'm going to share some tips with you about presentation skills for leaders. If you are a corporate leader or any type of executive, you probably have to do presentations a number of times, even within the same week. Many of my clients come to me being very nervous and apprehensive about having to do this. And they want some tips, they want to brainstorm, they want to role play how to be more presentable as a leader when they are asked to present information. So there's a couple of tips I'll share with you today that have come up in my coaching sessions with clients. The first step is to be prepared. That means you put together your presentation in advance, you make sure your information is correct, your facts are accurate. And it also means that you practice the presentation. Many times we will do that in a coaching session. We will role play, they will do their presentation for me, and I will give them feedback. So being prepared is critical. You also want to have a relevant topic. Now, in the workplace, many times you'll be told what the topic should be. You'll know in advance. It's not up to you to choose the topic. But my point is that no matter what topic it is, you need to be sure it's relevant to the audience. And sometimes you may have people in the audience where, for those particular people, the topic might not be relevant. Times like that, you may have to find ways to tie it in to what you know about them. So having a relevant topic is very important, but it does bring us to the next tip of knowing your audience. And this sometimes is very difficult because you may have a mixed audience. There may be people from different departments, even from different companies, or someone sitting in on the presentation just to maybe see how you present. So there might be various reasons why you might have a mixed audience. Whatever you can do in advance, and this is part of your preparation, to know the audience, do research on the audience, understand what their needs are, understand what value your topic will offer them. So it's really important that you tie in the value so that they understand what you can do for them. Next, let's talk about PowerPoint presentations. Many people will put together a PowerPoint deck before they do a presentation. Some people present without a deck. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Your organization probably has its own best practices. And especially if you are presenting data or charts or graphs, you may want a PowerPoint deck. When you do put together the deck, it's very important that the information on the deck is concise and brief. And you don't want to read the information word for word. So the information should be more like talking points or bullet points. And then as you are talking about those points, you are expanding and giving additional information that's not on the slide deck. And that helps your presentation to seem more natural rather than if you're reading it word for word. And if you have a lot of information on the slide, it is probably not a good idea because people will tend to try to read the slide while they're sitting in the audience, and then they're not paying attention to what you are saying. So the slides are there only as a guide for you, and you need to provide more information as you go through each slide. Now let's talk about nonverbal communication. And when I'm talking to you about nonverbal communication, I mean your own nonverbals and the nonverbals of the audience. Both are very important to pay attention to when you're speaking. Your own nonverbals would involve making eye contact with the audience, making sure that you are facing them and not have your back to them or not be sideways. So you want to look and appear very confident as you're speaking. Many people use a podium, and I always suggest that if possible, they step out from the podium so that they're not using the podium as a crutch. And some people who are very nervous use a podium and they grasp the sides of the podium because they're so nervous. Again, you want to try to appear very relaxed, very conversational, relatable. And if you can step out from the podium, that helps to portray that image. The nonverbals of the audience are very important also. That's the only way you'll know if you've completely lost the audience or if they are still with you and interested. So you need to watch for things like, are they distracted? Are they on their phones or their computers? Are they having side conversations? And if so, you can handle those in a number of ways, but the best way is initially, before you even start your presentation, to go over just a couple of guidelines that you want the audience to follow. So you might say, before we get started, could everyone please put their phones on mute? Could you please not have any side conversations? If you have any questions, please save those until the end. You're perfectly free to set those kinds of guidelines. As the presenter, you want to manage the room. You want to have control of the room. So part of you appearing confident is setting those guidelines right up front and letting people know that this is what you expect. And these are the things that will show respect to the speaker. So those are a few high-level tips that my clients use, and they find them to be very helpful. Now, if you need any assistance implementing these or brushing up on your own presentation skills, please email me at monique@mdconsultingglobal.com, and I will be happy to set up a breakthrough session with you to help you out. Have a great day.